the main gate is locked for the night. Locked.
Hello?
I know this is an awkward hour, but can you let me in? I would like to visit one of the patients.
We do not allow anyone in at this time. I'm sorry. You will have to come during regular visiting hours.
Tomorrow will be too late. Please, let me in and I'll explain everything.
Oh, are you a doctor?
No, I'm not.
Who have you come to visit then, in the middle of the night?
I've come because of Robert Gordon. He is the director here.
Yes, I happen to know who's director here, Mr.
Samuel Gordon. I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself.
Very well then. I'll make an exception, Mr. Gordon. Push the gate open when you hear the buzzer and go straight to the main entrance. I will be expecting you in the lobby.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me in.
Well, I would not have let you in if you weren't a relative of the head doctor.
Yes, actually, he is what I'm here about. You see, he hasn't shown up for a couple of days now, and I was hoping you might know something.
I'm afraid I will have to disappoint you then. He left the sanatorium the day before yesterday, late at night, and has not turned up again since.
Are you sure?
Of course. I have been on duty every day.
What time did he leave?
Around midnight, I believe. He always leaves quite late. He has had a lot of work to do lately.
Did he mention where he was going, or say anything unusual?
Give me a minute. No, I don't recall him saying anything special. In fact, he was very tired. Just said goodnight and left.
I would like to visit a patient named James. Can you show me to his cell?
No, that's not possible, Mr. Gordon.
Can't you let me in?
Unfortunately, you will not be able to visit him, no matter what I could or could not do.
I don't understand.
Don't you know? James escaped the night before yesterday. I thought someone had told you.
No, I didn't know. How did he escape?
He must have gotten into the sewer system under the building. It should have occurred to me that he might do something like this.
Why? Did he say something to you?
Yes, I spoke to him the day before. He seemed much more anxious than usual. But there was more to it. I don't know if I can tell you. It is a delicate situation.
Please speak. It might be important. Maybe it will shed some light on the whole matter with Robert.
Do you think it may be related?
I don't have a clue. Please tell me what you know.
All right. James was more anxious than usual, as I said. It was hard to understand what he was trying to tell me. But it was the head doctor that he was speaking about. He said he knew something important, but he could not tell anyone what it was.
Did he say what it was exactly?
No. It seemed to me that he was afraid to talk. He kept asking me to put in a word for him with one of the doctors so he could go home. But he insisted that I not mention it to the head doctor. He acted quite desperate, so I promised I would help him.
What happened then?
Well, James does tend to be very moody, but I would not say that he is dangerous. I have known him for years now, and most of the time he has made very little trouble. So I went to the head doctor to ask him for a temporary leave permit for James.
But you said he didn't want Robert to know.
I had to promise that, but without the signature of the head doctor, no patient can leave this place. He didn't agree, though, and defended his opinion quite firmly. It seemed rather strange to me, such rigidity, I mean.
Did you speak with James after that?
No, I didn't want to further disconcert him. And the next day, he escaped. I cannot tell you anything more. I have no idea why he wanted to go back home so suddenly.
You have been quite helpful. Thank you. Why would James want to get away so desperately and suddenly? And why didn't Robert allow him to return to the castle? It seems to me that these things are related somehow. That's all. Thanks. A young woman. She looks nice. This is the way to the patient's cells. No one is allowed to go there at night. The nurse won't let me go to the cells this late at night. I've got to find another way inside. It's full of clean water. The water in it will be pretty cold. The water in it will... I won't be digging in that trash. It's mostly old papers. Terrible weather. A sewer. Maybe the main output of the ventilation system of the building. Old junk destroyed by wind and rain. There's no point messing with it. A few beer bottles, old containers and rusty cans. Just rubbish. A syringe. Looks quite clean. I'll have a look. The middle rod seems to be loose. Maybe I could pull it out somehow. A heap of damp coal. It would still burn well in a strong fire. A coal bucket. It's empty. Everyone who died within the walls of the sanatorium rests here. A gloomy place. The metal doors have no locks to prevent just anyone from entering. There's no name on it. It hides a few flickering candles from the rain. The resting place of someone of a noble family. The grate ends in stone. I cannot see any lock. The grate cannot be opened. few bottles of beer. The labels are not very damp. The bottles haven't been out long. 10-degree lager. 10-degree lager.
Who the hell is that? Nurse, is that you again? I'm heating the place like I'm supposed to. Not one of those crackpots of yours is freezing. Don't you worry. The boiler is running full blast, so leave me alone.
This is Samuel Gordon. Can you open the door?
Who?
I'd just like to ask you about something.
Yeah? What do you want from me?
My Uncle Robert runs this institution. Can you let me in?
I couldn't care less about who's running this booby hatch. I don't belong to the doctor bunch, and I don't have to obey old Gordon. Give me a break and mind your own business.
All right, but I just need to find something out. Then I'll be gone.
Oh well, okay, what do you want?
It seems to be quite hot inside. Are you heating at full power?
There's no other way when the weather's like this. I'll sit here the whole day and night in this awful heat.
Well, you can turn it down a little, can't you?
Impossible. They've just installed this new regulator. It takes care of maintaining the right temperature for itself. If it could also do the shoveling for me, I'd have one less thing to worry about.
So why don't you just leave the door open?
Well, that's another problem. I don't want the nurse checking up on me. She comes by to have a peek inside here from time to time to see whether I'm asleep or something. When the door is closed, I can cool myself down with beer whenever I want.
I see. Have you seen Dr. Gordon recently?
No, I haven't. I'm closed. Nobody ever comes around here anyway, except the head nurse. I last saw him about a month or so ago. Yeah, last month. It was Thursday, I think. No, not after that. But you said you were his nephew, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Well, then it's you who should know where he is.
What do you know about the runaway patient?
There was a lot of confusion about his escape here. Haven't a clue why they made so much fuss over one silly loony.
The loony happens to be my relative, so you had better keep those insults to yourself. I bet he can pronounce the whole alphabet, unlike you.
Calm down, would ya? I couldn't have known he's your relative.
Now, why I asked. You know this place well, right?
Sure. I've worked here for some years now.
If you wanted to get outside, how would you do it?
Listen, these are some odd questions, you know. Aren't you an inspector or something like that?
Yes, of course. I'm carrying out a midnight checkup of sanatorium security from the boilerman's viewpoint. Come on, I'm no inspector. So what is the simplest way out?
Well, I have no idea why you're interested in this, but I don't think there's a simple way out. Maybe from the hall, into the sewers under the building. Other than that, I don't know. If you manage to get that far, the rest wouldn't be a problem. The sewer has several openings that nobody's watching. Why are you asking anyway?
That's none of your business.
Right.
I have to see the cell from the inside. If it's impossible to get out, as everyone says, how could James have escaped without someone having helped him? But who could have helped him? That nurse, maybe. Or Robert himself. Robert's disappearance is surely connected with James somehow. I see you have a decent supply of beer. What if the head nurse saw those bottles?
No big deal. You can see them outside. As long as she doesn't catch me with one in my hands, she has nothing to complain about.
What do you know about the graveyard at the back of the sanatorium?
Well, it's a graveyard.
Do they bury patients there?
Nah, not anymore. But I wouldn't go there if I were you. Especially not now. I'm no coward. But one never knows what can happen.
So, have you seen ghosts or anything there? I certainly wouldn't be surprised, given all those beers you have had.
No graveyard is suitable for a midnight walk. Especially not this one. You have any idea who all's lying there? Lunatics, maniacs, madmen. You name their twist, they're there. But why am I telling you this anyway? Go where you like.
I won't be keeping you any longer.
Good.
May I speak with you?
Sure.
Can you tell me anything about the sanatorium graveyard?
I have worked here for almost 12 years now, and I know next to nothing about it.
Has it always belonged to the sanatorium?
As far as I know, it has. We no longer use it for burying, but it would have served its purpose in the past. Many patients would spend their whole life here, and when their time came, they would be buried at the back of the sanatorium. But that was a long time before I started here. I do not know much else about that place.
I need a little time here without being watched. Could you possibly do me a favor? I'd like to make a call to the manor to check if anything has changed regarding Robert. If you could show me where the phone is...
I'm sorry, I can't let you inside. But I could call myself.
Right. Here's the number then.
I do not need it. It is in the internal phone book. Wait here.
All right. I need to do this quickly before she returns. The cabinet is locked. The label doesn't ring a bell. It has a slot of some kind at the bottom. It has a slot of some kind at the bottom. There are some coins in it. The coin fits in the groove at the bottom. A little key was hidden there. A strong sedative will put a person to sleep for a whole day. Bephenol. I have no idea what it's good for. Maybe a relaxant, who knows? Some drops. Not really what I'm looking for. Cantropin diminishes headaches. I still have enough of my own pills.
It took a while. No one was answering the phone this late.
No problem. Did you learn anything about Robert?
Unfortunately, Mr. Gordon has not returned yet.
I see. Thank you for your time.
You are quite welcome. It was nothing.
That's all. Thanks. I spilt a little, but the syringe is full of sedative now. I'll go with full dose so it kicks in fast. Now, get him to drink it.
Mind your own business. I've got no time for you.
This must be the thermostat regulating the temperature of the ventilation. I can't see any controls on it. It's probably entirely automatic. It won't move. I'll have to loosen the brick that's holding it. It should be possible to infuse the sensor of the thermostat with cold water. The temperature inside will rise noticeably for a while. I've got to wait a little until the sedative kicks in. I have no idea what we could talk about.
mustn't make much noise. I could wake him up.